He's due for a score. Just to remind our viewers that this is a 48-over contest. Play starting late. Pakistan playing the same team that beat India in the last game in Jamshedpur. Good balance. There's variety there in the bowling as well, with Danish Kanaria playing the game. Interesting to see how this pitch behaves. Play started late, just to educate our viewers. Play started late because of excessive watering that was done last evening, so the pitch didn't dry out. The umpires took a look, the two captains took a look as well, and in the end decided that play would start at 10 o'clock. Hariharan standing in his 18th game, umpiring this contest along with the experienced Rudy Kirsten from South Africa. 133rd one-day international. It's a big game this for both sides. India already 2-1 up. Pakistan have got some momentum after Jamshedpur, and they'd like to draw level. Morning, Amir.
Good morning, Ravi. Good morning, all. Yeah, it is going to be a highly contested game between these two. The Pakistanis, they will be pushing hard to win this game, to level the series, and the Indians, they have to make sure that they win this game and put the Pakistanis under pressure. Like you said, they're getting into a momentum and they really have to break it. Lots of potential in the Pakistani side. Bowlers, very good batsmen, and a very balanced outfit.
Runs for Sehwag through the offside. 2 to end the over. That's the score after 1. Two for no loss after 1 over. Sharing the attack with Mohammad Sami will be Rana Naveed. Man of the match in the last game. Outstanding figures, 6 for 27. So his confidence will be sky high. 11 wickets for him in this series in 4 matches. He is the informed bowler for Pakistan. We've had 1 over already, and already just seeing those 6 balls being bowled, it clearly suggests this pitch is nowhere like the pitch we had in Visakhapatnam or Jamshedpur. It's a pitch on the slower side, it lacks the hardness. And as the game progresses, it's going to get slower and slower, and I think the spinners will really come into play on this surface. Sachin Tendulkar. He needs some runs under his belt. He's missed out in 3 games. It's something you don't see too often, especially in one-day cricket.
Yeah, Rana Naveed has a knack of picking Sachin Tendulkar up very early in the innings. Rana Naveed has been a sensation for Pakistan in this one-day series.
And Tendulkar on his way, starts off with a boundary. No ball signal, just drifting on the leg stump. And that was nicely played.
Was a loosener from Rana Naveed. No effort in that. He was just looking to bowl on a good line of length. but drifted towards the pads, and Sachin Tendulkar is off with a very good stroke. This will give him a lot of confidence. He's been struggling to get some runs in one-day internationals.
He goes again. This time he finds the fielder. I just feel there's nothing really anything wrong with his form. He just needs some time in the middle. Just needs to be there for 7-8 overs, get some rhythm going, and then we all know that he's a class act. He can convert that then into a big score. It's a start that he needs. You might have 13,000 runs in the game, but when you go out there 3-4 times and spend less than 15 minutes in the center, it starts playing on your mind.
Especially when lots of is expected of you. Everybody in India wants Sachin Tendulkar to score 100 in every innings. And if you fail in 3 consecutive innings, definitely there is some sort of a pressure on you. And that's how he prepared for this game, Sachin Tendulkar. He knows he requires to play a big one for India. It's a very important game for them in this series.
Well, the thing with him is constantly thinking about his own game. Still hungry, very hungry. And that's for runs. Now Sehwag on strike. That goes through. He's the in-form player for India on this tour. This one just coming back off the seam. He's scored over 700 runs against Pakistan in the last month in international cricket. That includes the tests and the one-dayers, but it was Rana Naveed who dismissed him cheaply in the last game.
It's good to see the Pakistani bowlers bowling wicket to wicket with Sehwag. Earlier on, they were trying to ball just outside the off stump to him, and that's where he's very strong. And that's how it was picked up by Rana Naveed in the last game. Good catch from Shahid Afridi. The ball was really travelling. It was the case of ball sticking into the hand, and that was the wicket which actually created a lot of pressure on the Indian team.
Already pretty clear cut. This is a slow track. Don't expect 300 runs here. If a side gets 300, they have to bat extremely well. Very early, a smart captain will realize that the ball is not coming onto the bat already. Look how early he's into the shot. As a result, he's got to start thinking now. Field placings, angles. We'll come back to that. No ball signal. So when I talk about angles, the ball is not coming onto the bat, so the whole field starts going squarer, especially on the offside. Your third man has to go a little squarer. Your point has to come a little squarer. You've got to understand those angles quickly. And as a bowler too, there isn't much movement. And like Ahmed Sohail said a little while earlier, you've got to bowl into the stumps. Don't give the batsman room. The ball's not coming on. It's not easy to force the pace. Nine for no loss. Big crowd in here today, 48,000 the capacity at this ground. And the stadium was jam-packed as early once again as 8:30 in the morning. People everywhere. Interesting to see will be the bounce also on the surface. It had a dry look to it.
Ravi, the bounce is not going to be steep on this wicket. And like you suggested, it's on the slow side, the pitch. And the batsmen, they really have to work hard to score their runs. Sachin Tendulkar having a problem with that white chair. It's just lying right in front of the side screen.
Well, he wants the side screen to be moved. The side screen to be moved, he says. Well, I think one thing can be done here. We know how particular Sachin Tendulkar is about the side screen. I think it might just be a good idea for him to go in half an hour before play starts. Take his guard there, check his stance, and probably let the ground authorities know where he wants the side screen. Because it's irritating for one and all, once play starts, to have a stoppage like this. And it's almost routine now with Tendulkar at the crease.
And Ravi, it doesn't help you as a batsman.
It sure doesn't. I'm sure he'll be livid because he's got a mindset. He started off with a boundary. Now again there's a break in play. The side screen has to be moved. Suddenly you need 10 people out there. There wasn't one around 30 seconds ago. And now there will be a problem moving the side screen. Now they're looking to try and pull it, and now they get it across a little more.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see any problem. When it comes to the side screen, it's all black. The only reason for me for the delay was that white chair. It's been moved.
I'll tell you what, Amir, if I was the curator or had to do anything with this ground, I will just look into the rule book and say what are the dimensions given to me for a side screen, and fix that. And after that, it could be anybody's problem. If it is there in the book that the side screen should be this feet by this feet, get that organized and then forget about the rest. I think it has to come into the regulations that it should be universal. Now play starts. No ball, put away for 4. That was juicy. And Tendulkar has helped himself.
Seems like after having the adjustment made with the side screen, he saw the ball very early. Played it beautifully and into the gap. Picked up his second boundary.
As already you can see there's hardly any movement in the air. Remember, the line belongs to the umpire. I think the first 15 overs are crucial. When the ball is hard and new, that's when it'll come on to the bat. Down the leg side, wide will be signaled.
Well, Inzamam has really have to react properly. He's asking his bowlers to bowl within the stumps, and then he has too many fieldsmen on the onside. And now he has done the right thing, moving himself from short point towards short mid-wicket. Sami is a kind of a bowler who will bring the ball into the batsman, and if he's looking to pitch the ball within the stumps, the angle from where the ball is being delivered is going to take the ball towards onside, and Inzamam has to give cushion to Sami.
I think very important position on this surface is where Inzamam is standing now. That's a good position. He's got rid of one slip. There isn't much movement. He's come into a short mid-wicket position. On a slowish track, I think it's an important position. We mentioned about the angles and the field just coming a lot squarer because of the slowness of the pitch. You can see where square leg is standing. He's standing in front of the umpire. Yet if you were playing in Vizag or in Jamshedpur, that same fielder would have been on the other side of the umpire.
It's a very important position, like you suggested, where Inzamam is situated at the moment. Shot mid-wicket. The first delivery of that over, it was a similar kind of a delivery, but it was hit through mid-wicket. But because of that fieldsman, Inzamam ul Haq had shot mid-wicket. Sachin Tendulkar had to play that delivery straight to the fieldsman at mid-on.
Beautiful timing. Third boundary for Tendulkar. And the good thing was he wasn't really reaching out for the ball. He allowed the ball to come onto the bat and concentrated on placement and timing.
Well, he attempted a similar kind of a stroke at Jamshedpur, and the result was he was caught in the slips. Because of the lack of the bounce on this one and the slowness of the pitch, he was able to execute that stroke beautifully through covers. The third boundary for him, and the best of the lot.
$19 for no loss. $19 for no loss. It's a jam-packed stadium here in Ahmedabad. Play starting 1 hour late today because of a damp pitch. It's a nice clear day, cooler temperatures here than in some of the other places. That's beautifully played again. This is loose stuff from Rana, and it gets the treatment. This time it's Sehwag. He's looking for movement. There's no movement there. And just drifting onto the pads.
Yes, he's looking to bowl line and length. We are seeing no aggression from Rana Naveed. In the last few games, he was very aggressive. He was bending his back. But in this particular game, he's just looking to bowl line and length. And I think it's not helping the cause of Pakistani team. He has to be aggressive. They have to pick up early wickets on this kind of a track to create some sort of a pressure on the team. Nicely played. This is going fine. Sami doing very well. 2 runs is the result.
Now, we talked about the pace of the surface and the way Tendulkar was dismissed in the last game. Now, this is Jamshedpur. So he didn't have the time. Extra bounce that did him. There was a little bit of movement as well. He was looking to punch it in front of point. Now, that's the pace of the surface. Now, this is the last over. He had ample time to play a similar shot. So Inzamam just having a chat with Rana Naveed. See some alterations in the field. Fine leg up now. There's a man who's dropped back. Deep backward swelling on the boundary, the short mid-wicket as well. So very quickly Inzamam realizing that there has to be some adjustments made, seeing the pace of this track and the bounce.
Well, you must have spoken to Rana, Naveed, that you have to bowl one line in length. They cannot afford to bowl both sides of the stumps. He cannot give him the cushion. And now he has decided to bowl just on the off stump.
That's pummeled through the offside. Width on offer, and Sehwag onto it in a flash. A meaty blow.
Off stump line he has to bowl. And there is, this occasion, plenty of room outside the off stump. And not much cushion. Square of the wicket on the offside. Easy pickings for Virender Sehwag. Picked up his second boundary of the over. One on the onside, square of the wicket, and the other one square on the offside. He's bowling all over the place, Rana, Naveed.
4 more. All over the shop, you said. Well, this is tough for Inzamam now. Runs on both sides of the wicket. You can't set a field then. He's got to bowl a line. He's been clipped off the pads 3 times already in this innings. He's been hit through the offside twice. And with fine leg up, that's hardly the line you can afford to bowl. 14 runs in this over so far. India off to a flyer.
And you could already see a lot of pressure on the Pakistani fieldsmen and the bowlers as well.
33 for no loss. So India going along at over 8 runs per over at the moment. 14 runs conceded in the last over. So early problems for Pakistan. This could be a very good toss to win for Sourav Ganguly. I think this pitch will dry up as the day progresses. The spinners will come into play. No slips for Tendulkar. Two men in catching positions, both in front of the wicket. One on the offside, one on the onside. It's a short mid-wicket just in front of square. And Inzamam standing at a short extra cover position on the offside. So they've already worked out that this pitch doesn't have pace. But that's the length. I think the best length on the surface is just back of a length. Don't allow the batsman to drive off the front foot. Just back of a length. And also, as a bowler, you very quickly got to realize that you got to use some variation. Cutters could be useful. An off cutter or a leg cutter, just rolling your fingers across the seam to see if the ball grips.
That was a cutter from Mohammad Sami. It can be a very good ploy. Holding the ball across the seam. And that will mean that the ball is going to stop and grip after it's pitched. And that can trouble the batsman finding the real timing.
Wide. Yes, I think it's a very useful delivery. The Australians used it extremely well against the Indians when they toured here late last year. A lot of cross-seam stuff, a lot of off-cutters. The Indians like the ball coming onto the bat on these surfaces which don't have grass. And you can see that release. Cross-seam. It's picked away. Straight to fine leg this time.
Yeah, Kasparov, he was very successful on that tour. He was always looking to bowl those in-cutters to the right-handed batsman. And like you suggested, that the Indians, they really want the ball to come onto their bat. And the reason for that is they don't move their feet too much. They like to hit the ball on the up. And if, as a bowler, you can do that. You can create a bit of gap between bat and pad.
Not only that, the ball might just stop on you and you play early. And the timing is good.
That is the length you were talking about. Back of the length, where the batsmen, they really have to play the ball really late. And since the ball is not coming onto the bat, it'll be very difficult for them to place the ball into the gaps. And the bowlers and the captain, they have to react to that. They're off to a flying start. They have to do something different to pick up a wicket here.
Good placement. Very risky from Sehwag. He'll get another boundary. 39 for no loss. .39 for no loss. Already 7 boundaries hit. You can see most of the runs square of the wicket on either side. Plenty of loose stuff on leg stump which has been put away. The square leg area has been peppered already. Now Rana Naveed, he's got to do something different. He went for 14 off his last over. He's conceded 21 of 2. Tendulkar on strike.
It's very important for the fast bowlers on this kind of a track to use their fieldsmen. There are plenty of fieldsmen on the offside. And what Rana, Naveed and Sami has to do is just keep on bowling on the off stump, just back of the length. Force the batsman into playing the ball straight to the fieldsman. And then, if you're able to frustrate them for 1 or 2 overs, then you might see something extravagant from the batsman. Otherwise, it's a beauty for the batsman out there.
Remember, this is a 48-over game. Which means that 3 bowlers can bowl their full quota of 10 overs. 2 bowlers are allowed to bowl 9. The ball wasn't really coming onto the bat. At the very last minute, he's opened the face of the blade. Waited and then got the placement right.
Not an easy shot to play on this kind of a track. Waited on it and then in the end opened the face of the bat and picked up his 4th boundary. He's looking very dangerous, Sachin Tendulkar. Looks like a wounded tiger. Couldn't score in last 3 one-days. He was under a lot of pressure. A lot of talk against him that the way he's playing is not right. He should go out there and look to hit boundaries, and that's what he's looking to do. And you should be happy about it, Ravi.
Yes, India need him to get some runs, and the good thing is this is the kind of pitch you can come back into form as an opening batsman. I mean, there's not much movement. It's an easy pace track. The ball will come on to the bat when it's new. .47 for no loss.